do to you. And make you call up my name, but that's who it belongs to. If I was your woman, the things I do to you. But I'm not, so I can't, and I won't. But if I was your girl,
Naomi on her talk show to rehash their 14-year conflict. Naomi apologized, but denied Tyra's allegation or had no recollection of the incidents. But she did admit to being emotionally unstable and lonely during that period.
Making supermodel Tyra Banks, supermodel Naomi Campbell, now on Tyra.
It has to be just me and Naomi alone.
The backstabbing, the name-calling, the catfight on the catwalk.
You called me the B-word. You said, you'll never be me.
Years of runway rivalry.
I felt like you were terrorizing me.
Explode in a dramatic confrontation.
Why, Naomi? Today, it's about telling the truth. It's about being honest. Because without honesty, there's no way that you can heal. And today is a healing day for me. And I hope it is a healing day for Naomi, too. Press had cast Naomi and I as rivals before we had even met each other. And there's conditions in the modeling industry that are fueled by rivalry, because back then, let's say there were 10 top models, 10 of them. But there was an unwritten rule, that only one of them could be black. Only one. 10 girls, but only one could be black. And at that time, Naomi was that one black girl.
In the headlines, there wasn't enough room at the top for 2 black models. And the press orchestrated a fierce rivalry between us. The reports were relentless and fueled a feud between Naomi and myself. For the media, the catwalk wasn't big enough for the both of us.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
First of all, Naomi, I want to thank you for coming here.
You're welcome.
This is not easy for me. I know it's not easy for you, too, especially with so many years and years of...
But I thought it was a good idea.
What did you think because I didn't want to call you personally because I wanted the first time for us to see each other. It's been a while.
I didn't want to see you before the show because I think it's better to be fresh. But I'm happy to be here. I'm really happy. And I said yes right away.
Yeah? I want to go back to when I was 17 years old. So that was about, what, 14 years ago.
Well, how old was I? I was 17. I was
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
21, 1991.
Yeah, 1991. And I don't know if you know this, but even before I left for Paris, I had your pictures plastered all over my bedroom walls.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the Azadina Laya fashion show that we did
when
together?
we had the braids.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. And the little white frilly things. Yeah,
yes.
I remember
So you remember
very well.
that fashion show.
Yeah.
And I called my aunt. I said, she's right behind me. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's right here. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Just a couple of weeks ago, I was at home looking at her pictures, and now I'm in a fashion show with her. But Naomi, do you remember what you said to me?
That's
now, I want you
something awful and cruel.
Awful.
What did I say?
You said, I heard you talking about me.
Which I do. I hear everything from everywhere.
Yes. No, you said you heard me physically. You were right behind me. You heard me talking about you. You called me the B word, and you said, and we have a photo shoot to do in Anguilla, and it's not going to be pleasant if you're talking about me like that.
I probably did say that.
Why did you say that?
Because I probably just heard the tail end or just thought it must be negative, which it wasn't negative, so now it's something new. So I'm really sorry.
It was upsetting. What are some of the things that, specific things that people would say? You don't have to worry about hurting my feelings or anything about me or about our, coexisting in an industry. What are some of the specific things they would say? And I can tell you some of the specific things.
She wants to be you, but
bought into what they were saying.
at the time,
because I'm trying to understand.
At the time, everything was just, there was photographers, there was editors, there was stylists, there was makeup and hair. It was just like,
but did they ever compare?
Drama.
Because they would compare constantly. Oh, she's 3 years older than you. I'm like, 3 years, 4 years old, or 4 years?
They compared.
That's the same thing. That's something that I constantly heard over and over again. But what I wanted to say, and to be very clear to you, is when I started to become a fashion model, I never tried to look like you.
No, but that's how they made.
There was a certain look. There was a certain look. You were the only one. You're the only black girl. Make every black girl's hair look like that. Make every black girl's makeup like that.
Right.
And that wasn't something that I perpetuated.
And
I remember for the Aliyah thing, the story with the Aliyah when you said
the hair, the braids.
Yes, the Aliyah fashion show when I was talking to my aunt and you kind of accosted me in the hallway there. And then we went on that trip. We went on that trip in Anguilla. Yes. And it started beautiful. I was like, Mama, I called my mama. Mama, she brought me into her room and gave me vitamins. She was so sweet to me.
I remember we were at Cap Juluca.
Yes, we were at Cap Juluca. Yeah. But I remember being on a boat and I get seasick. I was very seasick on this boat.
You were seasick on that boat?
Oh, I was, I don't tell people. Like, I didn't, especially in the beginning of my career. I just say, I'm just taking a nap. Really, I wanted to throw up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was laying down on this little plank thing. That boat shot there. I was laying down on a plank. Laying down on a pillow.
Yeah.
And you came and you sat down next to me. And I think you let me put my head in your lap, or you put my feet on your lap.
Right.
And you're like, sweetie, are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, actually, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And then you said, I have to ask you something.
Right.
See, I remember this because I was so new and young. You said, I have to ask you something. Do they try to make you look like me?
Right.
And I said, I don't know about so much now, but in LA, yeah, they really did with the little short black wigs and
you
stuff.
told me that, yeah,
yes.
I remember.
And Naomi, you got up, pushed me away, and said, yeah, I thought so. And you turned.
I did.
You went from the sweetest woman that was giving me vitamins to someone that terrified me on that trip.
Oh, my God.
And
understandable, I can understand.
I was told on that trip that I was sent home because you didn't want me there anymore. So I didn't finish that trip.
True.
That's what I was told.
I don't have the power of Anna Winter.
Shoot for Vogue in 1992. During the shoot, there was tension from Naomi towards Tyra. In 1993, Naomi reportedly told Karl Lagerfeld to ban Tyra from Chanel shows or she wouldn't walk. She was allegedly urging industry professionals not to work with her. John Casablancas, the founder of Elite Models Management, spoke out against Naomi in 1993, stating that she was so difficult to work with that he had to drop her from the agency. He called her crazy, irrational, and uncontrollable, and even said that she put pressure on him to drop Tyra and was successful because Tyra made the decision to leave the agency. He said, "She made me lose Tyra Banks because she didn't feel there was room for her and Tyra at the same agency. No amount of money or prestige could further justify the abuse that has been imposed on our staff and our clients. She has been having people around here in tears. Our staff have killed themselves for her in terms of the number of lies told in order to protect her."
There are some specific things that I remember as if it was yesterday that hurt me and hurt me to my core. And I want to ask you about that, and I want to see if you remember them too. Do you remember that photo?
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that photo because we didn't say one word to each other. It was after the thing that happened on the boat.
Right.
And it looks like we're just chilling and talking, but if you see there, I feel the ice in that picture because I remember it like it was yesterday.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I remember only about the...
There was no communication. I went from calling my mom, like, you know, saying, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, to calling her going, I don't know what happened.
Right.
We just did a photo. She didn't speak to me. Like,
I remember just with your, I remember you telling me about the wigs. I don't remember anything
You don't
else.
remember anything else?
But I remember that the ending of that trip was it was very cold.
We did a fashion show. I don't remember what it was. It might have been Jenny or something like that in Milan. And we were doing that fashion show backstage, and you came up to me right when I was about to walk out, and you said something. And it's so funny because it was so surreal at the time when you said it. I didn't think that you could actually say something like that.
What did I say?
You said something like, you'll never be me, don't ever think that you'll be me, and something like that.
I said that?
Yes.
I can't think, that's something, I'm not that, I'm very much I'm very much, I know the person that I am, and I'm not someone to go and give myself away and say that to anybody. I've never said that in my life. So, but if that's what you remember, I accept that, but it doesn't sound like me to people that would know me.
I'm not sure if you're understanding how much it was painful for me, and I think it was truly a painful time for you, but I don't want to speak for you.
I love modeling. I love this industry. It's given me a lot. It's shown me a lot. It's made me travel the world and meet amazing people. But with what I'm going through in my life in the last 5 or 6 years and what I've gone through, of what I've come to know in making my mistakes, in maturing with my family, with myself, with my relationships, it's not life-threatening and it's not that deep. It's not about, I didn't know myself at that age. I want to know what between 20 to 25-year-old really does know themselves at that age. Especially in such a whirlwind career. What I was envious of you was you had your mother with you. I never was able to have my mother with me. I always remembered you had your mother at all your shows, and she was always there with you, and I thought I wish that I could have my mother with me.
Why couldn't your mother be with you?
Because she just had a baby. And it wasn't possible. She had to raise my brother.
Let me tell you why my mother was with me. When I went to Paris, my mom wasn't with me. We couldn't afford it. I went at 17 years old, right out of high school.
Right.
So she actually had 2 jobs when I left and went to Paris.
Right.
We couldn't afford it. And there was a situation. It was a Versace fashion show. I was backstage getting my hair and makeup done. And this is about a year and a half into this feud thing that was going on. And then I think his name was Angelo, or Italian name. Can't remember his name.
Angelo.
Angelo, was that his name? Okay. Angelo called me. And he said, Tyra, I need to talk to you. And I said, okay. And he had a really weird look on his face. And I said, what is it? He says, I have to cancel you from the fashion show.
Right.
And I was like...
And you instantly thought that was because of me?
No, I didn't. Okay. And I said, why? I just did my fitting. I did everything. The show's about to start in 20 minutes. And he gave me a look and kind of did like that toward you. And I was like, okay.
What, do you ever know Gianni Versace?
No.
Okay, so if anyone that knows him knows you. I could never do that. But just so you know, you're not alone. Kate Moss was canceled after doing a fitting in a rehearsal.
Yes. No. So I've been canceled as a model a lot. I'm not blaming you.
That was the Gianni Versace way.
Yes. No, he's notorious. I knew he was notorious for canceling at the last minute. So that's not what I'm saying.
Nothing to do with me.
This is not my opinion. This is something that somebody did a head nod.
Said,
yes. So I picked up my backpack, walked out, and I was like, you know what? This is enough. This is enough, because I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to a payphone.
You called her?
I called my mother and I said, Ma, I can't take it anymore. I dropped down to my knees in that payphone. People were walking by, trying to help me in French, and they didn't know I was okay. I was just emotional. I said, I can't take it anymore. And I said, if she wants it this badly, she can have this entire industry. I got accepted to 5 colleges. I'm coming home and I'm going to school.
Right.
That's what I told my mom. My mom kind of calmed me down, and I said, well, the only way that I can do this is if you are by my side every single day.
But don't you think some of the things are like blown up a little bit? When I would read the press, I'd be like, but this didn't happen. We didn't have a fight on the runway. This, I mean, it really was blown up out of proportion.
No, most definitely. It was definitely blown up and perpetuated. But to me, there are certain things in the press that come from nothing, and then there are certain things that come from truth.
Absolutely.
And I do feel that
and it came from somewhere.
It came from.
But I mean, the stuff that was written was exaggerated. Was, you know, people adding their little here and bits here and there.
That's always going to be.
And that's always going to be that way.
Because negative press wouldn't have made me want to quit. If it was only negative press, you know, to be honest, Naomi, I'm fearful of you to this day. Not right now. I feel safe. I feel like it's just me and you. There's not a lot of hoopla.
Right.
But even a couple of seasons ago, even a couple of years ago when we did the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and I walk in the room and I see you, I'm like, I start shaking. My heart starts beating faster. I go back to the 17-year-old girl
that you used to be.
That I used to be when this powerful, strong icon woman that I looked up to was terrorizing me. I'm having the conversation with Naomi Campbell that I have wanted to have for so long. And the day is here. There came a time in my career where I started to gain some weight. I started to get curvier. And I was told by my modeling agency that I needed to lose some weight. So I tried to lose some weight, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me.
Right.
And I'm going to have my agency call Victoria's Secret, call Sports Illustrated, so that I can change my career and won't have to worry about being so thin to be a high fashion model. And to this day, that's the story that I tell the press as to why I left the fashion industry. I just didn't want to fit in those clothes anymore. I didn't want to have to be super healthy and eat only chicken and vegetables. But that's only 50% of it. The other half of that is I was tired of having to deal with you. I was tired of that pain. I was tired of the comparison. I was tired of constantly hearing that I got canceled from this job or this or that, or this photographer was called or this magazine was called and was telling to not use me.
It's not important to me. As I said, I'm in a part of my life even then where life means more to me than that. This is just the fashion world is a small pinnacle in the hemisphere of what really is going on in the world.
But what happened at that time for me, Naomi, what happened for me at that time is a big part of who I am today. It was one of the lowest points in my life, but we all learn from the things that happen in our lives that are negative, and I think that's what made me start T-Zone. I think that that rivalry has made me start America's Next Top Model because I says I will never be what that represented.
Ever say that I'm a victim. I'm someone passing through my life that's going to hit the lows, it's going to hit the highs, it's going to hit the successes.
Yes, but in being a victim, you don't have to let that conquer you. It's being victimized and then being empowered.
It's not going to conquer me. It's like in terms of like when I wanted to go in recovery, it's the best thing I ever did in going to recovery. I learned so much about myself for years. I can remember things from when I was 3 years old. Something that I want people to know, that rehabilitation should be taught in schools, because it's something, once you know the tools, you know when you're not happy, when to stop and say, I gotta take time out, when to say, okay, I'm trying to please everybody, I'm not pleased, and this is not working for me, and not be afraid to say, I don't want to do this anymore, because there's a lot of like, you get so secure in one thing and you say, okay, if it's over, what do I do? I'm not afraid of anything anymore. I'm willing to just face things as they come.
At one time you were afraid?
Yeah,
what were you afraid
definitely.
of?
I was afraid, like when I realized I had to go to rehab, and I was like, okay, I need to take off a month of work. Oh my God, I can't take off a month of work because I'm gonna miss this, and I'm gonna miss this because I got a perfume. I'm like,
what did you think would happen at that time? The fear if you did take off that month. What did you think would have happened?
It wasn't a fear that I was gonna. Actually, I don't know. I really don't know.
You think your stock would have gone down if you would have taken off that time?
It's not about stock. It's about emotionally drained, spiritually drained. I would have been no good to myself, not healthy in mind, not healthy in spirit, and not good to anybody.
We'll be right back. Do you feel like you've had to put up a lot of defense in this industry to survive in an insane world?
I put up defense because I don't want to show my vulnerability. I put up defense like it's like I think people who really know me, Tyra, my really close friends, you know, I have a big heart, I'm very generous, when I'm very loyal. And I'm happier now than I was in my 20s. I'm much happier now.
Why is that?
Because the way I was living my life then was too much. I was like trying to make everybody else happy, but I wasn't happy.
Let's go back to Paris. I'm 17 years old, and all these people are saying these negative things. Oh, look out, Naomi, here comes the new one. Uh-oh, you better get back. Oh, look, she's trying to look just like you. You better get that. How would you handle...
Not now?
If
I had that knowledge of...
If you could do it all over again, how would you handle...
I think I wouldn't, I just simply, really simply wouldn't have bought into it. I would have just not bought into it, and then it would never have escalated. I think when you buy into things, people are malicious, people like negative, like we've said and sat here and gone over many times, and I think that only you are the one, if you pay attention, that makes it escalate. But I didn't realize at that time that's what would happen. I was like listening because I was not a little older than you, but I was also not in my country. I was also used to, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this to that. I think, you know, it really is buying into it. If I knew then not to buy into it like I know now, it would never have escalated.
And we would never be sitting on this couch right now.
But I am happy to be sitting on this couch right now. So, you know, I'm happy to, how many years did you say, 14 years later? To be sitting here and to wanting to have done this show. Before we start, however I've affected you, or have you felt that I've affected you, I take my responsibility. And I just want to say I'm very proud of you for being a powerful black woman sitting here and doing what you're doing. And please continue, okay?
Thank you so much.